Hello, everyone. My name is Clayton. I think this is the first time I know it's the first time that I've made a video for everybody here on YouTube. Um, I basically have no subscribers. Um, I have no content so far, other than a couple, maybe one song that I produced on my phone. But something that I wanted to talk about that's kind of been heavy on my heart lately is dealing with non-constructive criticism. Okay, this is something that I think is it's really an important issue now because everybody has a voice on the internet, and there are so many comments and so many different perspectives that are flying around on the interweb that a lot of times people spend a lot of time thinking about the feedback that they get on their videos and on their content, and on whatever else they do. It doesn't have to be on YouTube. But I wanted to give a brief opinion on this matter, and I know that it, of course, is itself subject to criticism. So I just wanted to say briefly that not all criticism is constructive, right? And I think that's obvious, but I think it bears mentioning how do we respond to non-constructive criticism? Do we lay it to heart or not, right? Um, in some sense, I think that you have to have some compassion on the people that are making these non-constructive critical comments, because people that do this and sort of give their time and effort to complaining, they have problems in their life and in their mind that they refuse to deal with. Many of them. And the complaining and the sort of just the tearing down that they do comes from a place of fear and insecurity on their part, rather than deal with their own problems and their own issues. Okay, they instead will project onto you those things and tear you down because it's much easier for them to tear you down than it is for them to actually work on their own stuff. And it's easier for them to break down your problems than it is for them to break down theirs. So keep in mind that the people that make these kind of comments, they're not doing so because they have everything together and they're just so appalled that you can't get it together yourself. No, they're doing it because it's a cop out. It's an easy way for them to feel like they're in a position of power over you because they have two thumbs and a keyboard and they can type in a YouTube comment section. So keep in mind, as you read negative comments that are not constructive at all, keep in mind that the people that are making these complaints and are making these comments, they have bigger issues than you can remedy, okay? But what you can do is just say a silent prayer for those people and say, I hope you get your stuff figured out. I hope you get it figured out, and I hope that you, are able to change your ways and change your mind and not be so unhappy and not project your unhappiness onto me. Because if you're secure in whatever it is that you're doing and you're passionate about it, there's really nothing that anybody can say that can take that away from you. The only person that can take that away from you is you. And the way that you can take that from you is by listening to people that don't have any idea what they're talking about. So don't listen to people that offer negative criticism that isn't constructive, okay? Now, sometimes people will try to veil non-constructive criticism within a sort of veneer of constructive criticism. It's hard to give a clear-cut example of this, but I think you know it when you read it. Um, this can come in the form of nitpickiness, right? Where somebody's just bogged down in tiny minutia, in details that don't matter at all, that really have nothing to do with the spirit of what you're doing or the purpose with which you do it. You're just subject to these sort of barrage of complaints about tiny little things that don't really matter. It's just somebody's opportunity to give you a piece of their mind, and sort of veil it within the veneer of concern, or veil it within the veneer of constructive criticism, where you can tell when somebody's actually being constructive, when they really want to help you, when they really want to say something or do something that they feel will benefit you or help you, or the cause that you're fighting for, or the just the overall character of whatever it is that you're trying to do, right? You can tell when somebody is also invested in that thing and they're just trying to help you in some way. Okay, they may offer some criticism, but they're doing so without bad intent. They're doing so with pure motive, and you can tell. You can read it in the comment, or you can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their eyes. You can feel it yourself. But I think it's obvious when somebody is using the opportunity to offer constructive criticism, but they're supposedly doing that, but they're doing so in a way that does nothing but just point out something wrong, right? They're only trying to tear you down ultimately. And then, of course, you have people that are not ashamed to do this, and they're just blatant about it, right? They just say something that is just completely destructive, that has no value whatsoever. And all I really want to say, without belaboring this point, is just learn to do this. And I apologize, I'm looking through the blinds right now. The sun's kind of coming down on me in a strange way, so I apologize for the quality of the video. And I'm sure that, given the opportunity, somebody will probably complain about that. But all I'm saying is that when you get this sort of nonsensical, non-constructive, hateful criticism about whatever it is that you're doing, just learn to do that, and don't even give it a second thought. Now, don't return that hatred, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for you to respond in a way that tells them that, I got under his skin, I got under her skin. Don't give them that satisfaction. Just don't even engage with them. All right? If anything, just say a silent prayer for that person and say, hey, I hope this person, gets it figured out. Whatever's going on in their life, whatever has got them so fearful and anxious, whatever issues they've got that they're not going to deal with, I just pray that person gets it worked out, and then move on. But don't allow these people to define you in any way. Don't allow these people to hamper you in any way. Don't allow them to curtail your passion. Don't allow them to do any of that. Just don't give them the power that they seek. Because, like I said, since they don't have any power to control their own life, control their own emotions, since they don't have any power to do anything effective themselves, well, then, of course, they're looking for power some other way. And, of course, the easiest way to do it, the most cowardly way to do it, is to go after somebody else and to start tearing them down and acting like that they know so much more than you do about it. Well, don't give them the satisfaction of responding. Just brush them off and move on. And let that be that. And don't allow it, don't take it with you. Don't think about it at night. And the more successful you are at something, the more this is going to happen. The more people will do this. You'll find it out. I'm not a successful person in terms of numbers on YouTube or anything like that at all. Okay? But I have dealt with issues in my life where if I ever wanted to go out on a limb and do something, and I have done a few things like this, I've always encountered opposition. Some of it very senseless, just totally non-constructive, just just somebody else who wasn't courageous enough to do that thing comes out of the woodwork and tries to tell you that you're not going to be successful. Just understand that they're projecting their own fear onto you. Don't allow it to stick to you. Okay? So that's all I really want to say about that. And don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's good to take criticism. That's constructive. It's good to recognize it for what it is and to listen when you get it, because oftentimes that's the difference between your success and your failure, is listening to people that know more than you do. But filter that out and learn to separate it from just the vitriol, just the hate. Don't listen to that, and don't allow that to go along with you. Go ahead and leave that behind and take the good stuff with you. But don't allow trolls or anybody else, even people in your family. You may have people in your family. Just learn to tune them out. Be civil with them, I suppose, but just learn to tune them out, and don't give them the reaction that they're hoping for. If you're a smart, successful person in a family full of fools, just understand that there's a good possibility that the people very, very close to you are not going to be very encouraging to you. They're going to continue to try to minimize your accomplishments. They're going to try to undermine you because they're not comfortable with the fact that you're successful and they're not, that you're confident and you're not, that you have your head screwed on straight and they don't. They're not comfortable with that. And rather than deal with their own problems, because that takes some guts, that takes some fortitude to stand up and look at yourself in the mirror and properly identify some issues and work on them. That takes a strong person to do that. Many people are not willing to do that. Just understand that many people are not mentally capable of doing that. Don't allow those people to define you. Just understand that they've got issues. Say a quick prayer for them and move on. And don't allow them to tag along. Okay? Well, I hope you all have an excellent day. And maybe you'll be hearing more from me in the future on various other topics of interest, things that strike my fancy. If you want to, leave a comment below. And you know what? If you want to leave a non-constructive criticism below, you're welcome to do that too. I just won't read it. So have a wonderful day, and God bless you all.